practicalities require that I contribute to the political parties. And practicality again requires that I contribute with a degree of confidentiality so that I'm not victimized in future.
The problem with the scheme, Mr. Solicitor, it provides for selective anonymity. It's not completely anonymous. It provides selective anonymity.
Confidentiality.
Or selective confidentiality. Yes. The problem with the scheme lies is if it doesn't provide a level playing field to political parties, and B, if it suffers from opacity, as the argument for the other side is. This is not to prevent.
What used to happen is, in my business, I get only clean money or substantial part of the clean money, but practicalities require that I contribute to the political parties. And practicality again requires that I contribute with a degree of confidentiality so that I'm not victimized in future. And therefore, clean money used to be converted into unclean money. White money being converted into black money so that it can be paid according to them anonymously and according to me with confidentiality. And this is disastrous for the economy when white money is converted into black money.
But as the learned Chief Justice yesterday gave an example, quite possible that 100 people may buy bonds at 1 crore rupees each, and somebody may purchase those 100 crores by paying cash.
I wanted to answer that question. But I also examined that question. What your Lordship's query, as I have understood, is that suppose I have 100 crore in cash. Now your Lordships are examining the scheme for the purpose of answering this particular query right now. I'll go into the history thereafter. I have 100 crores. What I will do is, I will give him cash of 10 crores that you deposit this in your account, buy a electoral bond of 10 crores, give it to me. I'll give another 15 crores to my another learned friend, and I will aggregate. Kindly, my lord, see the situation. The moment 10 crore of cash goes in his account, there are checks and balances within the income tax department. He will have to face the investigation. My learned friend will have to face the investigation. I will be involving 10 to 15 more persons to buy 10 to 15 electoral bonds. As against that, it's easier for me even today to go with 100 crores to a political party and say, they take this 100 crore in cash. Why should I, involve 10 people as my accomplice?
No, the advantage is that the political party will get it in white. There is an advantage for the political party because it will get
I would not risk myself. The reason is this. The moment 10 crore cash goes in his account.
Suppose if 100 companies.
Yes.
They purchase it, let us assume all of them are in profit.
Yes, madam.
They purchase for 1 crore. So they will get a double benefit that they will get income tax exemption for the amount that they have paid on.
Correct.
Yeah. And also if they transfer it to an aggregator, they will get cash also for that.
The difficulty is, my lord, the moment he deposits 10 crores in cash, my lord, the income tax department.
No, I'm not talking about going to deposit 10 crores in cash. Who will ever deposit 10 crores in cash?
Then I'll show the scheme. It has to be deposited if he has to.
No. The problem with the scheme, Mr. Solicitor, it provides for selective anonymity. It's not completely anonymous. It provides selective anonymity.
Confidentiality.
Or selective confidentiality. Yes. The State Bank of India, it's not confidential with the State Bank of India. One, it's not confidential with the law enforcement agencies. So a large donor would never take the risk of buying the electoral bond for the purpose of tendering it to the political party. All that the large donor has to do is to disaggregate the donation, get people who will purchase electoral bonds with small amounts which will be then purchased through the official banking channels, not through cash. If you have
provided they have 10 crores. So I will have to find out 10 people who are having 10 crores and who are ready to risk that. But I need not tell you a lot.
What will really happen is this. A large donor will never put his or her head on the line by being in the books of account of the State Bank of India of having purchased.
They are doing it.
He won't do it for the opposition party, he'll do it for the ruling party.
There is no,
So,
please.
Mr.
That-
Bhushan, they did not
Please, Mr.
interrupt you.
Bhushan.
yeah.
Please, Mr. Bhushan.
So what would really happen is this, and that this is what the scheme is capable of, because it's selective anonymity,
Lord,
selective
I'm,
confidentiality.
my lord, I need not tell your lordships, my lord. A possible or potential abuse may not perhaps be the ground, but let me explain the entire scheme to your lordships. In a given.
Second, Mr. Solicitor, your argument that, look, if you were to strike down this scheme, you will go to a situation which had existed prior.
Can I
That,
come?
I'll just, you can deal with it in your own course.
Yeah,
That would
yes.
not be valid in itself for the reason that we are not precluding the government from coming out with a transparent scheme or a scheme which has a level playing field. The purpose of ensuring that electoral funding relies less and less on the cash component and more on the accountable component. It's of course it's work in progress. We are completely with you. There's no difficulty. We are completely with you that this is a problem which economies, we are democratic societies are grappling with. But the point is not that, it's not an all or nothing approach. The problem with the scheme lies is if it doesn't provide a level playing field to political parties, and B, if it suffers from opacity, as the argument for the other side is. This is not to prevent the legislature or the executive from coming out with a scheme which deals with these deficiencies.
Confidentiality goes.
No, it may be that the confidential, we are not saying what it should be. That's no part of our function.
That's not.
We are not, that's not a part of our function. But, and two very important things. Maybe the earlier scheme failed. Maybe it didn't get you as much of white money into the electoral funding as you would otherwise have liked to do. But look at the safeguards in the scheme, in the earlier provisions. A cap on how much of your net profits you can contribute. One.
I have an answer to that.
Two, a disclosure within your own accounts and therefore to your shareholders that this is the political party to whom we are contributing. What we are now doing is that in the effort to bring in white money into the electoral process,
Yes.
essentially we are providing for an information hole.
Can I, my lord, respond?
That is the problem. The question, the motive may be perfectly laudable, no question about it. Question is whether you have adopted means which are proportional, or do the means meet the test of Article 14?
I take it, my lords.
Yes.
So that I am not discouraged, that your lordships are just putting to me what is their contention.
Obviously, that's why I am hearing you. Our views are never final until the last word in the case.